up guys, welcome back to the channel for a new video. Today we are working on the GD3 Honda Fit. It is my little JDM track nugget toy thing that we're gonna learn how to drive on the track, drive better at autocross. I've taken the NC to the track a few times, but the car's too expensive now to have an accident in. So we bought one of the cheapest cars possible. We've already modified it a ton. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, go up into the playlist in the corner here and check out the GD3 Fit build, and go down below and hit the subscribe button to make sure you see more. So if you are new to the channel, this is the GD3 Honda Fit. It's a 2007. It is the L15 engine, and recently we have done a full little service on this. We cleaned out the EGR, we put on a new valve cover gasket, we painted the valve cover silver, we did a valve adjustment, cleaned out the intake manifold, cleaned the throttle body. We've also got an intake on, that's in a previous video. This car's on coilovers. It's got Cosi K1s with some sticky tires on it that are in spec for Sunday Cup, so we are all prepared to go there. It's got some other little things here and there, like a rear strut bar and all that good stuff, but like I said, go and check out the videos for this car. If you're not super into Honda Fits, maybe you'll see some inspiration on how to pick up a cheap car and turn it into a little track machine that you can learn and practice on. That's the whole goal of this car. And if you guys know me, if you have been subscribed for a while and you've seen the NC Miata, I am a sucker for JDM Parts. I kind of like the parts more sometimes than the actual cars and working on cars, and I finally got something pretty cool for the GD3. I've ordered plenty of things from Japan for this car already, but this is an iconic Honda tuning company, and it's J's Racing. We've got a J's Racing front strut bar. You see right there, J's Racing. If you guys don't know J's Racing, they are all about Hondas and they do some really cool stuff, make some really cool parts. The J's Racing GD3 and the GE and the GK Fit are all super cool. Wild livery, K-swapped, I mean all sorts of cool stuff. So really good parts from a tried and true tuning company in Japan. I picked this one up used. It was super crusty. All of the paint was faded on the strut top mounts, and the strut bar itself was kind of corroded. And I've shined it up pretty nicely with some metal polish and a little bit of sanding. There's still a little bit of pitting. I don't know if you can kind of see it right in there. There's still some pitting, but I threw the hardware in vinegar overnight, knocked off all the rust. This is what basically the whole thing looked like before I started cleaning it. So we've got some new bolts, mounting hardware, and we're gonna throw this thing in today. I have no instructions for this sort of thing. I did look up a few things online, and I found one instructional post on a forum, and I'm kind of surprised by it, but also not really. It's not totally out of the norm for me to drill things, but you actually have to drill out your strut tops. There's like this little sticker thing right here that it goes in. There's one mounts there, and then we got to drill a couple other places, but that means we got to put the car up, take the front wheels off. And since that is the case, I've got these new sway bar bushings to throw in. I'm not upgrading my front sway bar at all. I just want the thicker rear sway bar, but I figure if we can throw in some poly sway bar bushings, that will certainly help, because this car's got like 140,000 miles on it, and I don't think the previous owner replaced things like sway bar bushings. I mean, why would you? It's not something you really think about, but since we're gonna track this car, we probably should do that. So I'm gonna quickly throw the car up on some jack stands, get the front wheels off, and then we will just get to installing this thing. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Go down below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get started. All right, can you tell I've been working? So yeah, those sway bar bushings kind of kicked my ass. I thought they would be easier to get to. On the NC Miata, they're pretty easy to get to, but obviously this isn't an NC Miata. And they're way back here. Lots of different wrench combinations, sockets, and things like that, but we got it. The old ones were pretty rough. They were very deformed, dry rotted, all of that. So the new ones should feel pretty nice. On this car, you can't tell the difference with like sway bars too much. Rear for sure. A lot of people just take the sway bar off the front. I didn't want to do that in my case, but It should definitely make it last longer, less maintenance in the future, now that those new bushings are in there, and they're a little bit stiffer. So we'll see, it might change things a little bit, but now we need to work on our strut tops to drill out for these guys. And these are really solid from J's Racing. They're welded well. The paint's not perfect. Obviously, that's just because I did a quick little sand and spray, nothing too crazy. I just wanted to get all the rust off, and they're all cleaned up. And you know, they look decent enough in the sunlight. They shine nice and gold. So I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod and just kind of do like a little, not time lapse, but you know how we do it on this channel. So set you guys up on the tripod and we'll just get to work. Okay, it is done. I feel like I'm on the verge of heat stroke, but it is done. It's really quite hot in this garage, but it is solid. It looks really nice. I'm very happy with this. J's Racing stuff is super cool. So I think we need some more JDM type stuff in the engine bay here to match our little spoon brake reservoir sock. But you know, we'll get there. Not trying to spend a ton of money on this car. So I'm gonna throw the wheels back on and we'll take this thing for a test drive, see if there's any difference. All right, back in the old Honda Fit here. By the way, shameless plug, hats, shirts, we've also got slap stickers available on the site at superautomotiveaccessories.com. I know I don't have any Fit parts or anything like that, but if you've made it this far in the video, you obviously like the content somewhat. So if you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt. They're super comfy. The hats fit really nice as well. And the slap stickers are great quality. They're from Spinny Whoosh. If you guys in the Miata world are familiar with Spinny Whoosh, they're a really quality printer that does a lot of Miata stuff. So definitely check out the products, and there's a link in the description below. So go pick something up. But otherwise, let's get going. So I have strut bars on this car on my NC Miata, as well as my Mk7 GTI. And to be quite honest with you, it's hard to tell the difference on all three of these cars now, because I've put coilovers or some form of upgraded suspension on it, and that makes the biggest difference out of everything. It's kind of like if you get $90 and then you get an extra $10 on top of that, it's still like pretty much $100, if you know what I mean. I'm sure it's doing something. It has to be. It's body bracing, it's stiffening the chassis, it's making your suspension work a little bit tighter, but you can't really tell just by adding it after you've already done coilovers and things like that. Based on what I just said, the car still feels great. That's like my favorite turn to take right there. And it's like this car's favorite turn, at least based in my area. I mean, tires don't squeal. It just feels like it's on rails. And with the strut bars, you're kind of isolating that lateral movement in the in the strut towers. And when you're going side to side, turning and things like that, things are already stiff enough in the front. You have like the subframe and the sway bars and all that. So it has to be doing something. And I'm not just, you know, telling myself that because I spent the money on it. Like I've said in the past, I love car parts, sometimes more than the actual cars and installs. I think collecting parts is super cool, and especially getting parts from cars you've seen in the option videos, like the J's Racing Fit. I mean, it's really cool to me to have that, and I'm a sucker for the cool little JDM stuff. And there's not a lot of parts that are made for this car. There's not a ton of GD3 parts, so when you can find something that, I don't want to say rare, but you can find something that's a little bit of like from the time period from 2007. I mean, that's almost 20 years ago now, and you can still find parts if you look hard enough and you get a little lucky. And to me, that's super cool. I love J's Racing stuff. I've always wanted to get those parts whenever I did have a Honda, and now that I have one, I know they're not like the most popular Hondas in the world, but the parts are super cool. So in my most expert opinion, if you're looking for a day to spend out in the garage and you've got some money to spend and you want to work on your car, this isn't a bad install. But it does involve drilling and, you know, taking the wheels off, getting the car up on jack stands. It's not just like a simple unbolt the struts like you would on the Miata, just unbolt the struts and slap it on and you're good to go. It's not like that at all. But if you're not afraid to do a little drilling, you've got the tools. You know, I always recommend the mods I do because I did them. I wanted to do them. Everything I put on these cars is what I want to do. So if you want to do it and you like modding your car and you find one of these strut bars for, I don't know, under 200 bucks, I say go for it. It's a good modification, looks cool. You get some cool JDM points, and you know, just fun to mod your car and make it feel better. Like, even if you're not as, you know, anal as I am about things, maybe you will think it did something. Maybe you will think it makes your car handle better. So, you know, that's a bonus. There is a mentality to modding your car. I'm not gonna say it's making it faster, you know, butt horsepower, butt dyno or whatever. I think that's all silly. But suspension stuff is things that you can directly feel when you make bigger upgrades. Now, the strut bar is not a big upgrade, but if you feel like it is, maybe you'll drive your car better, maybe you'll do a little better lap times, you know, all good stuff. And with those final thoughts, I'm going to close out the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't seen too many of these strut bar install videos on YouTube for the Fit, so if you have any questions or anything like that, go down below, leave a comment. I'll be happy to try and answer for you and help you with your install if you need it. Otherwise, go down below, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments below. I'll see you in the next one.